What's up, everybody? How we doing today? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Just kidding. You probably didn't ask, but anyways, we got the All Star reserves to react to. We already did the All Star starters. You can go check that out. But yeah, let's react. We obviously got our starters. We're not going to talk about the starters. We're going to talk about the Western Conference first, since I already am mad because I do not see De'Aaron Fox, who is my favorite player in the NBA, and I think he's deserving. But honestly, he's not. He has not been better than Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards. I mean, you can make the art. Nah, stop. See, I can't let my bias get in the way of this. I really don't want my bias to get in the way of this. Obviously, my boy De'Aaron Fox had a hot start to the season and fell off, and he's been struggling of late. He's going to turn up in the playoffs. Don't you even worry. I'm not worried for a second. So, obviously, you have Devin Booker, Steph Curry as the two guards reserves. Yeah, I don't really think there's much to argue about that. They're clearly the two best guards outside of Luka and SGA. So I don't have a problem with that. Anthony Edwards, great. He's on the one seed in the West. I mean, there shouldn't be much else to say other than that. He's the best player on the best team. So he's there. Got Paul George. Oh, we forgot about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis should be here. You could argue him to be a starter. I wouldn't have a problem with you saying he should start. He could honestly be starting over LeBron. I would not put him over Kevin Durant or Jokic. LeBron's the only one I would exchange him with, though. But yeah, Anthony Davis, very deserving. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, both of them have to be there. I'm not really upset about it. I think it's justifiable. I think it is fair, to say the least. I mean, they are on the best team. Well, they're on the best team, not based on record in the Western Conference. Like, if you look at the record, obviously they're not the best team. I believe they're the third seed in the West, but you get general feel from this team. They're the best team in the Western Conference from top and bottom. So you really do need the two of their players there. Could argue Kawhi to be a starter. I personally didn't have him as a starter. And then Paul George, he's been great too. So not mad about that. Karl Anthony Towns. This one's interesting. I'm wearing Kings gear. De'Aaron Fox is my favorite player. I watch a lot of Kings games. Domantas Sabonis has been the best player on the Kings. He has been better than Karl Anthony Towns by a mile. He's given 20 and 20 games. He's getting triple doubles. I think he has 13 triple doubles on the year. He's got, he's the one that's been doing the most work for the Kings with De'Aaron Fox struggling. And the Kings are still a very good team, and they're struggling. And it's because of Sabonis. Sabonis has been amazing. I think that's the biggest snub in the Western Conference. Obviously, you can talk about James Harden. Who else am I going to miss? I think it's good, actually. I really don't have any complaints. You let me know if I'm forgetting about somebody, but I don't have a complaint in my brain right now. Outside of Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, he's deserving of it. He's the second best player on the best team in the West. But honestly, I would say Rudy Gobert could be over him if we're basing off that, because reason the Timberwolves are very good is not because of Karl Anthony Towns' offense. It's been the defense, and the person that anchors that is Rudy Gobert. So honestly, if you have to put two Timberwolves players in, you should put Rudy Gobert over Karl Anthony Towns. But no disrespect to Cat at all. But I think Sabonis should be in here. Then we look at the East. We obviously got our starters, as bad as it may be, with Damian Lillard starting. Personally, don't love that. The three guards they have, where they didn't put Trae Young in. Yo, they didn't put Trae Young in. That's crazy. Wow. Jaylen Brown. It's the same case with Cat. He's the second best player on the best team in his respective conference. So, yeah, I get it. he should be in there. Especially, I do think he's listed as a forward. There any forwards that have been better than Jaylen Brown? There's none on the Sixers. None on the. I'm gonna skip through this. Mikal Bridges, no. I love Mikal, but I unfortunately can't do that. Who else? Who else? Who else? Scotty Barnes. Before Scotty Barnes started, before the trade with the Knicks, Scotty Barnes looking like an all-star, and then he has been brutally bad as ever since that. That's what hurt him. But yeah, honestly, I don't mind Jaylen Brown being there as much as I thought I would, especially since he has to be a forward. Then you got Paolo. Paolo's deserving. I think he's perfect there, and Bam too. Bam has been amazing. Bam has been the best player on the Heat for most of the season. Now, Jimmy Butler obviously is the best player on the Heat. Don't mix my words. I'm just saying Jimmy Butler's been out, and Bam Adebayo has been the number one guy on the team for a lot of the games. Sorry. Oh, I should edit that out, shouldn't I? That's what happens when you're on college campus. That food, that shit will be hitting you at random times. But anyways, Bam Adebayo, he's been the one option for a lot of games this year, and he has been the best defender and best offensive player on his team. Perfect. Jaylen Brown, we already talked about. Jalen Brunson, I think he should be starting over Damian Lillard. He has been amazing. He's carrying the Knicks. Now, obviously, the Knicks have been good, but they're only relevant because of him. That might be Charles Barkley's best take he's ever had, saying that he's the only reason they're relevant. Now, the Knicks are a very good team, but if Jalen Brunson's not on that team, nobody cares. But obviously, Jalen Brunson, he should be a starter. Either him or Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, one of those two should have been starting over Damian Lillard. You could argue Damian Lillard shouldn't be in the All-Star game. You really could, because you'd think a player like him would be more efficient when he's playing with a player like Giannis, but he still hasn't been efficient. Tyrese Maxey's been efficient, and he plays with Joel Embiid. So Tyrese Maxey's efficiency is better than Damian Lillard. They got relatively the same stats. See, to me, Damian Lillard's not even. He's the worst guard in the East that's listed on here right now. No disrespect. Once it comes to playoff time, I know Dame time is going to be activated, but he's not an all-star starter. He's not the second best guard in the Eastern Conference. I really don't know how this happened. But anyways, getting back to my point, Donovan Mitchell been on a tear. He's been carrying the Cavs. As much as Jalen Brunson's been doing for the Knicks, Donovan Mitchell has been doing for the Cavs of late. He's been that guy. If I was a team, like if he wasn't carrying the Cavs to the point that he is right now, he would be on the trade market. And a lot of teams want this version of Donovan Mitchell that's carrying the Cavs, because this is what the Cavs traded for. This is what they traded Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, and Ochai Agbaji and a bunch of draft capital for. What we're seeing from Donovan Mitchell. This has been his best season in Cleveland. He had a great season last year, but he is out of his mind right now. So honestly, you have to have Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson in as a starter. But honestly, I wonder if he's a wild card. He's not a wild card, right? He better not be a wild card. But yeah. Donovan Mitchell, well-deserved. Jalen Brunson, well-deserved. Tyrese Maxey, well-deserved. But I don't see Trae Young, who is a number one option on his team. Now, this is no disrespect to Tyrese Maxey or Damian Lillard. They're both great. But Trae Young, when you get the scouting report, when you're playing the 76ers and Bucks, Giannis or Joel Embiid are number one. Damian Lillard and Tyrese Maxey, yes, they're very deadly, but they're the second dog, right? Right? Am I tripping? No, I'm not tripping. So, they should be more efficient. They should be able to score the ball at a more efficient rate. They should be able to do a lot of things. Trae Young. When you play the Hawks, the scouting report, it's Trae Young first. It's Trae Young. And he has the same stats. Now, we don't even need to talk about Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey's putting up the same numbers, way less assists, way less points too, but his efficiency is way better. But Damian Lillard, as a second option, is just as efficient as Trae Young is as a one option. Trae Young has better stats, and their efficiencies are the same. There's just no real justification on having Damian Lillard over Trae Young in the All-Star game. And then I look at Damian Lillard to Tyrese Maxey. They both had the same roles, and one player's way more efficient. I don't know what to say. Then obviously we have Julius Randle down here. Julius Randle, you're in the same boat as Joel Embiid. You need to have one good playoff performance before anybody can take you serious. And if not, well, then it's off to Cancun again, and you're never going back to New York. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to watch my weekly segment in case you missed it, where I do a weekly recap, the latest video dropped today, actually. I do them every Thursday. So you can click on it. Why are the OKC Thunder embarrassing themselves? Well, you can find out in that video. Have a good one. Bye.